Alright, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today what we're going to do is kind of go over the red dragon stone that you're able to get from the Porunga wishes over the last 5 weeks throughout the TDC. We're going to go through the list here and look at the characters that are on this list that you are able to pick up if you decided to actually grab this from Porunga. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think is best, like worth your time, you know, the best bang for your buck with these stones. And then ultimately at the end, I will preface this the entire time is that no matter what I say, no matter what anyone else says, it is entirely your choice and entirely dependent upon who you like as a character, who you want for your box, and your own kind of play style. So everything I say here is all just my own personal opinions and just where I would go, you know, to kind of steer in the right direction of what I think is the best choice. But at the end of the day, again, it is ultimately your decision on who you want to choose. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this. Basically, you still have a couple days left before you do this, just under a week, I believe, right? So this ends on the 9th. So about, what, 6-ish days still left to be able to get this done. So if you guys are still kind of holding on to this, it's just what I always recommend, right? Hanging on to it till like the very last minute. That way you can see what all comes from a celebration, what kind of easy A's we get, what kind of super easy A's do we get. Is there anybody whose value on this just absolutely skyrockets just because of what happened throughout the celebration, right? Or at the start of the next celebration and being able to kind of have an idea of what might be coming up next. So we'll go through here. So at the top of the list here, there are a bunch of Dokkan Fests that are worth 3, right? You have to use 3 of these Dragon Stones in order to get one of these characters. You'll also get a couple Kais, and I think it's the same thing throughout the entire thing here. You're getting a couple Kais from this. So, you know, looking at the list of Dokkan Fests here, there is nobody on this list that absolutely jumps out as a must-have, right? These cost 3 of your stones, right? You're able to get 5. This costs 3 of your 5 just to get one of these characters, and honestly, none of these guys are really usable. I mean, Hirudegarn may be usable in like dodge kind of events, but that's really about it from this list. I mean, 821 was just on the baby banner. And yeah, like none of these guys really have a whole lot of stock in them right now. And honestly, I can't say that there's anybody here that I would recommend picking up with your stones or using 3 stones to actually grab one of these guys. I mean, honestly, same goes for the next column here. So these guys all cost 2. These are all just a bunch of like banner units. I mean, the Frieza can be pretty decent on Super Boss's team, right, with his damage reduction. Yeah, Pan was very good with dodging. So was Jocko, but like, dude, these guys are featured on, or unfeatured on every single banner. You have a chance to pull one of these side banner units. So honestly, spending this resource is not something I'd recommend doing on any of these. Broly with his Easy A is actually pretty decent. So he wouldn't be like a terrible choice if like you don't have him and you have everybody else in this list. But still, I don't think I would use 2 of these stones to get these guys. Really, the best bang for your buck goes with the bottom here, which is really surprising. These only cost 1 stone, right? These are a bunch of like super easy aid characters. So I'm honestly surprised that they didn't like make these guys like 2 or 3. Just because they are super easy aid. I get that they're older characters. A lot of people probably already have these guys, but at the same time, like with their super easy aids, they're very, very good. So honestly, like if you were to ask me who I would choose from here, honestly, it would go between like the Super Saiyan 4s, Omega, and then Rose. Honestly, those are like the best picks here. Like Broly can be good with the other Brolys. Beerus is pretty good still. He's okay. He's very, very good. Rose is very good. The Vegito Blue is decent. And then the Omega with like the GT Bosses team, and then these guys with the GT Heroes team are just absolute like, dude, like almost I don't want to call them must-haves, but like almost must-haves, really, just because like they're so good. And then their synergy, like the Super Saiyan 4s, their synergy with like Gogeta, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, the GT Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta, like the GT Heroes team just got an absolute like powerhouse jump throughout the entire GDC that these guys are just such a good pick. And then same goes with Omega Shenron, right? With having the new LR Omega Shenron, right? He doesn't link with him, which does kind of suck. But you throw him in like slot 3 and he kind of just fills out that team and he hits very hard. He's actually a very, very good character. So honestly, like these 3 are probably like my top picks to kind of go for, because GT Heroes, GT Bosses are just continuously getting crazy buffs over the past like couple months. And honestly, I mean, with Daima on the horizon, Giant 8 Power, these are still going to be very, very good. So honestly, they are my top picks. These 3 are probably my top 3. And then if I had to pick a 4th, probably Rosé. Now, Rosé is very good if you have the new Rosé plus Zamasu character from the GDC. Right, this is when he got his Super Easy A. He's very, very good. Like, I will say he is very, very good. And just running him alongside the new Rosé, the Zamasu, and then that whole kind of evil future team, they rock, dude. They're very, very good, and he's very strong, especially once he starts taking a couple hits, he gets built up. Dude, he's incredible. So top 4, obviously these guys here, and then Rosé. After that, I mean, I guess Vegito Blue, Broly, Beerus, and then this guy. But yeah, I mean, that's really it from this list. There's not a whole lot here to really go off of. And like I said, none of these guys up top, I think, are worth 3 of your stones. Unless you're really just missing them and you just really want to complete your box, or you think maybe they'll come in handy at some point in the future, which sure, I mean, like the androids definitely could. Turles eventually will once he starts getting closer to his Easy A. The banner units, dude, just stay away from, like, at all costs, because again, they are unfeatured on every single banner. The chances you pull these guys are pretty high over like the next span of few banners, right? You're gonna pull these guys eventually, just because they're always there. They're always in the pool. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. That's really it for this. I really just want to jump in here, kind of give a reminder towards the end of the celebration before time ran out, to remind you guys, in case you have been holding on to your stones, to use them, and then to also give my thoughts on who I think is worth your time and worth your stones. So again, GT Heroes, GT Bosses, at the very least, Future Saga right here. And then after that, like maybe one of these guys, that's fine. But yeah, that is going to be it for the video. Just want to keep this nice, short, sweet, and just basically to the point of what I was doing. Now, I will once again end this video by saying the choice is ultimately yours. Duh. Right? On who you choose. But this is just my 2 cents about who I think is the best choices to pick and who I think you should steer more towards with your choices here for your redstone. So, if you guys stuck around to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know ultimately who you guys ended up choosing with your red dragonstone, if you decided to get that. How many of them did you get from Permagra? Did you get all 5? Did you only get a couple? And then who did you ultimately end up picking? Let me know. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you!